The rope chafed Thomas McKenna's neck as the mob below bayed for his blood. In 30 seconds, he'd swing for a crime he didn't commit. The dusty square of Dead Rock, Arizona, pulsed with rage. Thomas stood on the gallows, hands tied, staring into a sea of hateful faces. The sheriff adjusted the noose with steady hands, ignoring the chaos. A preacher muttered prayers no one heeded. Thomas's thoughts drifted to his sister, Mary, waiting at home for medicine for her sick boy, Timothy. She'd never know her brother died innocent, framed for stealing stagecoach money. The sheriff raised his hand. The crowd hushed. Even the wind stilled. Then a shot cracked, severing the rope above Thomas's head. Frayed hemp flew, and panic erupted. Townsfolk dove behind wagons and storefronts. The sheriff drew his revolver, scanning rooftops. Another shot splintered the gallows beam, tilting the platform. Thomas stumbled, the loosened noose slipping free. Through the dust, a figure emerged from behind the general store, tall, lean, in a flowing black duster and wide-brimmed hat. His movements were precise, firing shots to scatter the crowd further. A black stallion charged into the square. Without slowing, the stranger hauled Thomas onto the saddle behind him. The sheriff fired, but the shot missed as horse and riders vanished in a dust cloud toward the rocky hills. Thomas clung tight, heart pounding, as they tore through sagebrush and boulders. The sheriff's posse thundered behind, their shouts fading with distance. After a breathless ride, the stranger slowed near red rock formations. Thomas slid off, legs shaky. The man in black turned, revealing storm-gray eyes beneath his hat. "You're supposed to be dead, Thomas McKenna," the stranger rasped, voice like desert grit. He dismounted, hand near his gun. Thomas froze. Only lawmen or bounty hunters used his full name. The stranger removed his hat, exposing a scarred face and steel-gray hair. Thomas recognized him, Blackjack Morrison, Arizona's most feared outlaw, vanished after the Tombstone Massacre 3 years ago. "Why save me?" Thomas croaked. Blackjack's smile was cold. "Your sister Mary sends her regards. How's Timothy's fever?" Thomas's knees buckled. "How did this killer know about Mary's boy?" "You set me up," Thomas whispered, the stagecoach robbery and planted evidence clicking into place. Blackjack's laugh grated. "Smart boy. But that's half the story. Your hanging was the opening act. The real show starts when that posse catches us." Hoofbeats echoed off canyon walls. The posse was closing in. Blackjack checked his pocket watch, unperturbed. "We need to move," Thomas urged, panic rising. "They'll hang us both." "That's the idea," Blackjack said, mounting up. "You're leading them where I want them." Thomas hesitated, sensing a trap, but with the posse nearing, he had no choice. He climbed behind Blackjack, trading one death for another. They rode deeper into a maze of canyons. Blackjack navigated every turn like he'd mapped it. The posse's shouts grew louder, splitting to cover paths. At a narrow bend, Blackjack halted. Ahead, the canyon widened into a bow-like arena, high walls on all sides, a perfect ambush site. Blackjack dismounted, rifle ready. "Time to pay your debts, McKenna. Your sister's boy lives, but someone dies today." Thomas's blood chilled. He wasn't rescued, he was bait. The posse's shouts closed in. Blackjack positioned himself behind a boulder, rifle aimed at the entrance. Thomas grabbed a dropped revolver, hands trembling. Something felt off. Blackjack's nervous glances at his watch betrayed a man expecting worse than a posse. A glint of metal flashed on the eastern wall, a sniper's rifle, aimed not at the posse but at Blackjack. Thomas's warning shout split the air, "Jack, sniper." Blackjack dove as a bullet sparked off his boulder. The shot revealed Thomas's position to the posse, who spread out, guns drawn. Chaos erupted. The sniper fired again, clipping rock near Thomas. Blackjack returned fire, shots echoing. Sheriff Garrett's voice boomed, "Morrison, you killed my brother in Tombstone. Today you pay." Thomas's world tilted. This wasn't about him, it was revenge for a 3-year-old grudge. The sniper, the posse, the canyon, all a trap for Blackjack. Blackjack signaled a crack in the southern wall, a narrow escape. Crossing meant braving open ground under the sniper's sights. "Stay and die, or run," Blackjack said. Thomas hesitated, then heard a woman's voice from the eastern wall, cold and clear, "Enough, Marcus. Let the boy go. Your fight's with Morrison." Thomas froze. That voice, Mary, his sister, but she called herself Elena. The sniper, Marcus, replied, "He's seen too much, Elena." Thomas's mind reeled. Mary, his gentle sister, was here, orchestrating this bloodshed. Blackjack's eyes held pity. "Your sister's been planning this since Tombstone. My bullet made her a widow." Thomas's stomach churned. Mary's husband didn't die of fever, he was Blackjack's victim. Timothy wasn't her son but Blackjack's, hidden after the massacre. The medicine Thomas sought was for poison, not fever. Mary's voice cut through again, "The bounty on Jack's head buys Timothy's antidote." Blackjack paled. "She's got my boy," he whispered. "There is no antidote. Timothy's been dead 6 months. Thomas's world shattered. Mary had used a dead child to lure Blackjack, framed Thomas for robbery to ensure his desperation. She wanted the Morrison family erased, Blackjack, Timothy, and Thomas, revealed as Blackjack's brother. More hoofbeats thundered, Mary's hired guns, a dozen riders converging. The sheriff's posse, outnumbered, faced slaughter. Garrett took a bullet in the shoulder, crawling for cover. Mary's plan was clear, kill everyone, no witnesses. Then a child's voice rang out. "Aunt Elena, you said you poisoned me, but I'm not sick." Timothy, alive, stood on the eastern wall, holding Marcus's rifle. Marcus lay motionless nearby. Mary screamed, her plan unraveling. Timothy revealed she'd killed his mother, not Blackjack. Mary appeared, knife in hand, lunging for Timothy. Thomas fired, hitting her shoulder. She fell, raging. Blackjack climbed to his son, Thomas following. The hired guns, leaderless, fled. Marcus, wounded but alive, had protected Timothy, defying Mary. Thomas faced Mary, her hatred palpable. "You're a Morrison," she spat. "You destroyed me." Thomas shook his head. "The real Elena died in Tombstone. You're not my sister anymore." As the sun set, Blackjack held Timothy, reunited after years. Thomas helped Garrett, knowing he'd face trial but accepting it. Some traps were worth springing if they led to family, however broken. Salvation, Thomas learned, could come from the unlikeliest places.